Welcome to the CoolLED tutorial video for MetaMorph. In this video, we'll be showing you how to set up the pE-4000 in MetaMorph imaging software. First of all, you'll need to go to the CoolLED website to download the drivers. To find these, select Support, Imaging Software, and click Downloaded here. Once the drivers have finished downloading, save them to a memorable location such as your desktop. You can then connect your pE-4000 light source to the USB port of your computer. Then head to Device Manager to check that your light source is being correctly recognized by the PC. If it is not displayed as this, you will need to right-click on the device and click Update Driver, pointing the computer to the location in which you just saved the downloaded driver. Please note that for the pE-4000 to run in MetaMorph, the light source will need to be assigned to COM port 9 or below. Please take note of these COM ports, as we will need these later. You can then open the Meta Imaging Series folder. Firstly, you will need to open Meta Imaging Series Administrator. This is where you can configure all the devices that you will be using during your experiment. First of all, select Configure Hardware, Install System Devices, and search for the CoolLED PE. Next, select Install. A connection not available message will display. Select OK. Once the CoolLED PE has moved over to installed devices, you can then select Settings. In Connection Settings, change the COM port to one which you noted earlier. Either will work, and ensure that Operate Device in Emulation Mode is deselected. Then select OK. Click Apply, followed by OK. You can then go to Configure Acquisition to add your imaging device. In this case, we will be using a demonstration camera. Then select OK. Finally, select Configure Devices and ensure that the CoolLED PE available device has been added to claimed devices. Again, click Apply, followed by OK. Select OK on the Configure Hardware menu and OK on the Administrator. You are now ready to open MetaMorph. Ensure that your pE-4000 is turned on before you open the software. You are now ready to open MetaMorph. First of all, click Devices and Configure Illumination. It is in here that you can add specific illumination settings. For our first example, I will be adding an illumination setting for imaging DAPI. First of all, I will select the wavelength required for DAPI. As this is in the first channel bank, I will tick wavelength 1 and select the 385 LED. You can then select LED intensity 1 and select the intensity that you wish this LED to come on at. Finally, you'll need to select LED shutter 1 and set this to active. Then click Add/Replace, and this will add this to your defined settings. We can then add another, for example, GFP. Here I will deselect all of channel 1 and select channel 2, as GFP will require the 470 LED in the second bank of LEDs. Again, select the shutter and turn this to active. Then select Add and Replace. To toggle between these settings, simply double-click, and if you make any changes, click Add and Replace. If you want to check that your illumination setting is working correctly, you can click on this shutter image here, and you should see the LED shutter on and off. Here you can set up as many different wavelength options as you would like. In this example, we will stick to just 2. Close the Configure Illumination box. You can then control which wavelength is coming on in this drop-down menu and turn the LEDs on and off using this button. If you wish to run a multi-dimensional acquisition, click on Apps and Multi-dimensional Acquisition. This will bring up the menu for setting up your multi-dimensional acquisition experiment. Select Time-lapse and multiple wavelengths, then click Next. The next menu will help you decide where to save your experiment. Here you can set the number of time points and the duration of your experiment, and the number of wavelengths you would like to use for your experiment. For this we will have 2, DAPI and GFP. In this menu you also have the option to alter the exposure time. Finally, once you've reached the summary page, you can then click Acquire and your experiment will begin. Once you have finished your experiment and saved your images, you can then close MetaMorph. You do not need to worry about saving the configuration settings, as the next time you open MetaMorph, it will automatically load the settings that you had when you closed it the last time. You can see here that DAPI and GFP are still available. Many thanks for watching this CoolLED tutorial video. If you have any questions, do not hesitate to get in touch.